Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
A couple of months ago, my sister called me and asked me whether or not she should be following an anti-inflammatory diet. To be sure I gave her the most effective answer that I could, I asked her where the question was coming from. And she told me that she and a friend had been talking about food choices and that the topic had come up. They both knew that inflammation is bad and that anti-inflammatory diets are good. But they admitted that they didn't actually know what an anti-inflammatory diet is, and so she committed to ask me and report back at a later date. So knowing that she didn't really know what an anti-inflammatory diet was, I said, well, do you know what inflammation is? And she starts laughing and she says, actually, no. At one point during our conversation, my friend even said to me, what is inflammation anyway? The truth is that I think most people use the word inflammation without actually knowing what it means. So tonight, I want to clarify for you exactly what inflammation is, why we should not be trying to ban it from our lives, and what you can do with your food choices to make inflammation your friend. So let's start with the definition. At its simplest level, inflammation is a response by the immune system. That's it. No more than that, no less than that. The purpose of the immune system is to protect us from foreign invaders like bacteria and viruses, and to react whenever we get hurt to help us heal. So imagine when you get a cut on your finger. It gets a little red around the edges and it swells up, and it might even feel a little hot depending on how deep the cut is. That redness, that heat, that swelling, that is your immune system rushing to the site of the injury to clear out all the damaged and dead cells, to kill any bacteria that got in while the skin was open, and to create a protective covering in the form of a scab so that your body can generate new cells. That is one version of inflammation. When you get a cold and your nose gets all stuffy, that's because the immune system has detected bacteria or a virus, and it is rushing in to kill those cells and carry those dead foreign invaders out through mucus. Just to be gross for a second. My point is that the immune system is there to protect us and to help us heal. That is its job. And inflammation happens anytime the immune system responds. Which brings me to my second point. You want your immune system to be kind of like the porridge in the Three Bears nursery rhyme. You will all remember that Goldilocks tasted that first bowl of porridge and it was too hot. When the immune system is running too hot, it means that the immune system is a little jacked up, a little amped, perhaps a little trigger happy. And this can lead to things like autoimmune disease when the immune system attacks the body, or to allergies when the immune system responds to things that are completely benign, like pollen. It can also happen in situations where you have a chronic infection, a chronic bacteria infection, or a chronic viral infection, or when there's constantly injury happening within the body, either due to things like oxidative stress, which is bad, or even endurance exercise, which we think of as being good. On the flip side, the immune system can also run too cold, just like the second bowl of porridge for Goldilocks. And in those situations, you are more likely to catch every single bug that's going around. And once you've caught it, it will take longer for you to heal from that cold or that flu than seems reasonable, because your immune system isn't up to the task. So what can we do to make sure that our immune systems are running at just the right level? Not too hot, and not too cold, so that we get that inflammation response when we need it, but it doesn't show up when we don't. This is where an anti-inflammatory diet comes in. And an anti-inflammatory diet, at its simplest, is giving the immune system everything it needs to do its job, while not giving it all the things that will either trigger it or will cause damage in our own bodies. So that means eating lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, so we're getting all the vitamins and minerals the immune system needs to function properly. It means avoiding food chemicals, food additives, artificial sweeteners, trans fats, those things that can actually cause damage in our bodies and therefore require our immune system to respond. It also means avoiding those things that might just trigger your immune system, like food sensitivities, right? Gluten is an example for some people. Dairy is an example for some people. Anything that gets your immune system amped up causes inflammation. Once I had explained all of this to my sister, that inflammation is a normal, protective, necessary response from the body, that we want that response in certain situations, and we want to avoid it in others. And once I had explained that really an anti-inflammatory diet is simply one that supports our bodies in a very healthy way without poking at our immune system unnecessarily, she was able to provide the answer to her own question. And she told me that yes, she did need to be following an anti-inflammatory diet, but that she already was, and she was well on her way to making her immune system her friend. Mr. Toastmaster.